VP. Golf swing, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the 8th inning of a 5-1 baseball game. Good guys up, of course. Wyatt Bangford sending one into the left field seats to give the Rangers a 4-run lead just moments ago. And needless to say, a much better day to go live than last night. A much better day to go live than yesterday. Shoot. Rangers pouring it on late here. It was looking like one of those typical Rangers games for a while there until that Joc Pederson blast that sends it to a 3-1 score. Rangers manufacture a run with Sam Swaggerty, man, with the walk and the stolen base, and then the advance to third. Josh H. Smith with a great piece of hitting to get home the run. Oh, my goodness. Rangers manufacturing runs. What is the world coming to? Rangers manufacturing a run. Miracles do happen. Wyatt Langford, though, great sign from the young kid. Am I right? It had been a second since we had seen him hit a homer. I know he had one, probably 3 or 4 games ago, but just feels like he has not quite been himself the past few weeks. And just to see him drive the ball out of the ballpark, very, very good signs. Incredibly good sign. Right now, Martin in to face Walker, quickly gets an out. Walker up to bat right now. He's 1 for 3. Of course, Walker had the big home run in last night's game to put the game out of reach. His homer, I believe, in the 7th inning made it 6-2 at that point. Rangers have held him a little bit more in check today, although he does have an RBI. Has left a couple runners on base, though. Looks like he is going to serve this one into right field. Doley's under it, 2 down now. Again, 5-1 Rangers, top of the 8th. And we've got 2 outs. Chris Martin on to pitch. Good to see Chris Martin pitching, man. When he went out with the elbow tightness after one throw several nights ago, and then told us after the game he felt some pops, I don't think many Rangers fans were expecting good things at that point. It's just good to see this guy throwing after the scare from the other night. And he's looking pretty good, pumping 95 right now. 0-1 count on Caratini. He's 0 for 3 on the day. They finally slowed down Victor Caratini. And again, I made the comment yesterday, dude's looking like Juan Soto out here against the Rangers to start the series. Been held a little bit more in check tonight. By the way, appreciate all y'all hanging out. We're just getting cooking here. We're just getting started. But before we get into too much more, cue the intro. Here at Right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during the MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Drop comments, drop questions in the chat. We're going to be here for a little while. We're going to finish out this game. We'll hang out a little bit post-game too, chat it up. If I don't get to your comment or if I miss it, drop it in the comments again. We are not trying to miss anybody, anything of substance we're trying to get to. So y'all drop it in the chat. We'll get to it eventually. 1 and 2 count right now to Caratini. Little dribbler. Kind of an awkward play, but Martin and Berger execute the PFP, and we are on to the bottom of the 8th. What's good, everybody? JJ, thank you for the follow. Man, absolutely. Absolutely. Happy to see Pederson get one too. Dad, appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for the comment. Look, Joc has got to be one of the unluckiest hitters on the Rangers over the past few weeks. You've seen Joc Pederson with exit velocities of over 105 plus pretty regularly, I would say, in the month of May. And the average still not very respectable at this point, but the ABs look better. Again, my line over the past probably week has been, if you're railing on Joc at this point, you're really not watching the games. You're just kind of picking on the box score. Joc has been hitting the ball hard. He's been getting unlucky. A lot of atom balls right at people. Finally, today, you get a little bit of a breakthrough. The unlucky streak comes to an end, and Joc, huge hit there to give the Rangers a 3-1 lead. Rangers since added on. It's now 5-1. That was a huge moment in this game. And this is a big series. Huge moment in the series as well. You take a tough L last night. Bullpen not able to hold a brilliant start by Nate Eovaldi and a 2-run lead, right? You got a 2-run lead with 2 outs in the 7th. That was the scenario yesterday, right? 2-run lead, 2 outs in the 7th inning. And you would figure the Rangers get a dub out of that, but was not meant to be. We talked about it. We discussed the decision-making, the bullpen management. It is what it is. But this was a huge bounce-back game. I did feel good the Rangers would bounce back today. And look, we still got 3 more outs to go. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I thought that the Rangers would be primed for a bit of a bounce back. You've still got one of the best pitchers in baseball right now in Tyler Mahle throwing. And the Rangers had some success off of Blanco, the starter for the Astros today. So I absolutely felt confident that the Rangers would have a better game today. Tomorrow, I think, is a little bit of a crapshoot. You just don't know exactly what you're going to be getting out of Jack Leiter against a good quality team like the Stros. I hope that he continues to throw like he did against the Rockies, but I think we all know, kind of goes without saying, the Rockies are a little bit of a different foe than the Astros at this point. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Hey, Trent, what's good, man? Thank you so much. We'll try and get a little bit better with the play-by-play, y'all. These are the games we do need every day, Austin. Absolutely. Trent, appreciate you. Austin, appreciate you as well, hanging out on YouTube with us. And I got a bunch of y'all hanging out on TikTok. This is great. We've got Semien up to bat right now, 0-1 count. Let's talk a little Marcus Semien as he takes a slider off the plate. He had a nice line drive today. Marcus Semien, up till his last at bat, was 0-for. You were looking online, seeing a lot of people wondering why he's still hitting fifth, including myself. And look, I cannot say that the line drive in his last at bat really makes me feel a whole lot better about him continuing to hit fifth. I have to see consistency out of Marcus. One line drive hit isn't doing it for me. Maybe he'll hit a home run right now just to make me look stupid. But Marcus Semien, as much as we love Semi, heart and hustle guy, I definitely am a fan of Marcus. I cannot say that I'm rooting for him to do poorly. In fact, the opposite. And he takes a walk right here. Very respectable at bat from Marcus Semien. Look, he's going to go down today 1-for-3 with a walk. That's a pretty decent day. But I still would not continue to hit Marcus Semien fifth. I would 100% be moving him down in the lineup. I've said it before on past shows. You really cannot hide, and I don't want to call Marcus Semien a bad hitter, but you cannot hide struggling hitters in a 9-man lineup. Eventually the RBI spots find you. And that's how I feel about Adolis. That's how I feel about Marcus Semien. That's not to say you shouldn't play the odds game and move them down so they just get less at bats over the course of a season. But I don't know that moving Marcus down is going to be some incredible, crazy fix. I saw a few people throwing out there, he's going to get better looks in the 7, 8, 9 holes. Nobody's going to forget who Marcus Semien is, no matter where he's hitting in the lineup. I'm not saying they're going to treat Marcus Semien like a scrub, but nobody is going to just serve up meatballs to Marcus Semien. Everybody respects Marcus Semien. I think everybody understands he's going through a little bit of a tough time up at the plate, but nobody is just going to be grooving fastballs to Marcus Semien simply because he's hitting in the 7, 8, 9 holes. Like, it's just not going to happen. So for me, I think Marcus does need to get moved down, play the math game, give more ABs to others. But at this point, I don't think it's going to be some kind of crazy fix. Joc Pederson, by the way, 2-1 count right now. Marcus on first base. Rangers up 5-1. And Gusto on the mound for the Astros. Gregor Blanco actually had a pretty solid game for Houston. Got a little bit wild there late, but look, minus the Joc Pederson home run, he was cruising to a quality start. Look, I think he still got a quality start. He did. 6 innings pitched, 3 runs. So Gregor Blanco, quality start. Tyler Mahle was just better today. Joc Pederson, 3-1 now. Here's the pitch. Marcus was stealing, but ball 4. So Rangers are going to have first and second. Nobody out. Trying to tack on a little bit here. Like to see it. Like to see it right now. Keep going. Let me see what else we got. Austin says, I want 5 innings from Jack tomorrow. That, to me, is probably a reasonable expectation for Jack Leiter. 5 innings and hopefully 1-2 runs. I would be very, very happy with that. 1-2 runs. What's good, everybody, by the way, hanging out? I hope Berger gets a gapper to right center right here. That would be amazing. Texas Repo, what's good? Fake buzzer, though. I don't know about fake buzzer, man. I'm just saying. Thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate you. Score right now is 5-1 Texas. Jake Berger up to bat right now. 0-0 count. We'll definitely hit up the comment section, and I'll keep trying to glance here and there. We'll definitely be a little bit more focused when the game is over. So keep hanging out. I'll check periodically, make sure that I try and get to all y'all. But at this point, we're going to finish out the 8th and the 9th inning here strong. Right now, it's 0-2 to Berg. No outs. Jake Berger 1 for 3. Had a nice little gap shot. Just got a poorly timed notification that the Stars are down 1-0 right now. Not what I wanted to see, but you know what? The Rangers have beaten the Astros. I'm going to try not to let it get me down. Philip, keep wondering why Osuna hasn't been brought up yet. I mean, I think it's going to happen eventually. I would think. By the way, Robert Garcia warming up right now. So I don't know what that means. Luke Jackson maybe not going to be ready quite yet to pitch. I mean, Luke Jackson maybe still recovering from that hard line drive. That's about all I can surmise, unless they're just going to Luke Jackson or going away from Luke Jackson in the closer role. But Robert Garcia warming up right now for the Rangers. 2-2 count on Jake Berger right now. 2-2 count. Yeah, they do, John. You're right. John, appreciate you hanging out, by the way, brother. The RBI opportunities are going to find you wherever you're at in the lineup. At this point, you just kind of try and play that math game, right? The further down they are in the lineup over the course of 162, they're going to get less at-bats naturally. So I think at that perspective alone, you probably do move down Marcus Semien. But just don't be surprised. The RBI opportunities are most likely going to find you one way or another. 3-2 count here. Berger gets sawed off. This is going to be a tough play, but no problem for Rogers, the Astros second baseman. Nice little over-the-shoulder grab, and Jake Berger not able to advance the runners here. So at this point, feeling pretty good about a 4-run lead. Clearly, you'd love to add on here and maybe just go ahead and have Robert Garcia sit down. I don't know who you go to, though. Maybe Jacob Latz. Shoot. If this becomes like a 6-run game, do we feel comfortable with Latz in the ball game? I was just kind of going through it in my head, saying it out loud. I don't know. I think I would. I would probably let Latz pitch in this one if we get a little 6-run lead here. I don't know if I'm doing anything else, though, man. I really don't know. I would love to get one of these runs into that, Dad. Appreciate it. Robert Garcia is I don't think we can throw shade that way. Robert Garcia has been very, very good. I think he's had a couple of moments of struggle, but Robert Garcia has been pretty lights out. I mean, look, out of all the options we have, I think he's probably the best one at this point. But I'd love to see a little 6-run lead here, and maybe you throw Jacob Latz instead of having to burn Garcia. Gusto or Gusto, however you say his name, Astros pitcher, getting a little wild here. 2-1 count. He's had some errant pitches that just haven't even been competitive. 1 out here. Runners on first and second. Keep going. Yeah, 1 hit a game on average over a season is absolutely keeping you on a team. No doubt about that. I don't think Marcus Semien is averaging a hit a game, though, at this point. Astros, by the way, not liking that last call. It should be 2 strikes. Lenz, the home plate umpire, has just had a doozy of a day. This zone has not been good. I really, really don't know what the zone is, to be honest with you. It gets big, then it gets small. This is going to be everybody safe here. Paredes down at second base or third base couldn't quite handle a ground ball from Higgy, and we're going to have bases loaded here, 1 out. Just looked like he couldn't quite get a handle on that one. Ball was hit fairly hard. Kind of maybe took a little bit of a tough hop on Paredes, and he just could not glove it. Ball hit fairly hard. Just not able to glove it completely. Yeah, a little bit of a tough hop. Everybody's going to be safe. And now you bring up Sam Swaggerty for another at-bat. By the way, we're making that a thing. Swaggerty, baby. Love it. He's actually been pretty solid, hitting 308, around a 750 OPS. Heck yeah, man. I'll take that all day long. Austin, true. Baseball, absolutely a game of who's hot. John, I'm with you. Rangers are letting pitchers get off the hook a little bit. I mean, it happened to McCullers last night. We kind of let McCullers off the hook. We got to take advantage. You got 1 out and you've got bases loaded right here. You got to put the game out of reach. You want Robert Garcia totally fresh tomorrow if you need him. Would love to see Haggerty come through. And he's going to take one, not quite right down the middle, but right down the middle and a little bit low. Who do we got throwing here? Robert Garcia and Luke Jackson are throwing. No Lats. So maybe we see Luke Jackson. I don't know. We're burning one of them, though. I'd probably rather them burn Luke Jackson than Robert Garcia. Much rather have Robert Garcia fresh for tomorrow's game that will decide whether or not this is a split, hopefully, or a Ranger series win. Bruce Bochy looking on. 0-2 count to Sam Haggerty here. And if he can just put the ball in play, the speed you would think would be able to get him down the line and safe. He's not going to get it done here. That's just not good from Sam. And look, I feel like I jinxed him. I got to take some responsibility here, y'all. I don't get that from Haggerty. I mean, look, you've got enough wheels. Anything on the ground, unless you just smoke it right at somebody, anything on the ground, it feels like he's probably got a good chance of beating out. Not good from Sam there. Pop up a little bit over Paredes' shoulder down there at third base. And it's up to Josh Smith to make some magic happen here. Bases loaded, 2 down right now. Astros defense has not been great. That error on the Haggerty steal attempt, though, looked like it hit Haggerty's jersey and maybe threw off the trajectory of the ball a little bit. So I don't know if that throw down to second was really an error. But look, it looks sloppy, that's for sure. Keep going. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments, man. Teflon Don, what's good if you're still hanging out? Look, so far, so good in this one. We got to finish this 9th inning, y'all, but so far, so good in this one. Man, can we get a base knock from Josh Smith? Come on, baby. Come on. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Rangers in danger of stranding the bases loaded right here. Josh H. Smith, up to him. This happens way too much. Bases loaded and the Rangers get nothing out of it, man. Curtis, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, brother. Trash throws. Look, the content that came out of that 2017 season, I mean, in the aftermath, is pretty gold. I'm not going to lie. Wish that it wouldn't have happened in the first place, but there is a lot of gold coming out in the aftermath. A lot of gold content. Josh Smith, strike 3. Swinging. Not good. Not good. Look, I think that Robert Garcia, Luke Jackson, I mean, clearly the only two guys warming up. They were throwing anyways. You wonder if they would have gone Luke Jackson instead had we gotten maybe another run there, made it a 5-run lead, made it a 6-run lead. So you're bringing in Robert Garcia, a guy that you'd probably love to have in the game that decides the series tomorrow. Rangers hopefully will be up 2-1 with the chance to win 3 out of 4. The bases loaded, leaving the bases loaded. It's just ridiculous at this point, y'all. Like, it's happened way too many times. Way too many times. Yeah, it is. That what's good, man? It is. It's way too much that we don't come through with the critical hits. It's the clutch hits. Like, I will give it to Jonah Heim, though, yesterday. Big 2-out RBI to make it 2-0. Like, that was awesome. You don't feel like you see that a ton from this Rangers club. Like, they can get the big home run. Look, they can get the big, gap shot with the runner on first, 1 out. But it's like you're in these really high pressure moments. You runner on second and third, bases loaded, 1 out, 2 out. And it just feels like the numbers are not great. I would love to look at the stats, but it just feels like the numbers aren't great. Not going to lie. 2 times tonight, bases loaded, though. I definitely agree with you, Connor, 100%. I'd much rather would see Luke Jackson tonight in a 5-run, 6-run lead. I think, look, as much as we all like to clown on some of these guys at times and have some fun with it, I think I'd be okay with Luke Jackson in a 5-run lead, 6-run lead. I would have loved Robert Garcia to be saved for tomorrow, but just win the game, right? Just win this game. Who knows what happens tomorrow? Maybe the Rangers, it's another 4 or 5-run lead, and you don't really have to use him. That would be nice. But Robert Garcia is on to close this one out. And let's see. We're going to have Diaz, Myers, and Rogers. 1, 2, 3 here. Diaz up to bat right now. First pitch, right down the middle, almost. Diaz kind of buckled a little bit on that. It didn't look like it had that much bite on it, but Diaz already a little thrown off. It looks like a little uncomfortable up there. Here's pitch 2. Not a competitive pitch from Garcia, high and outside. And we have now a 1-1 count. Diaz 0 for 3, struck out in his last at bat. And he has a 230 average on the season. This was a guy that was hitting, I believe, around 300 last year. So having a little bit of a tough start to the year. Foul ball, and now we're going to have a 1-2 count. Good start for Robert Garcia, absolutely. No Noble Tiger. That's right. We had 1 out. We had 1 out, bases loaded, but we did not strand the bases loaded with no outs. Although the Rangers have done that, I feel like, a number of different times over the past few seasons. The Noble Tiger stat. It's sad that had to become a thing. It really is. There must have been a team that stranded the bases loaded every other game for that to actually become a stat. Thank goodness it wasn't a Noble Tiger, man. No outs, bases loaded, but that does feel very Rangers to strand something like that. Aaron, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you so much. It looks like we're going to have a nice little fly ball, can of corn for Wyatt Langford. 1 down, baby. Let's go. Astros, 2 outs left. Rangers trying to go up 2-1 in this series and go for the 3rd win of the series tomorrow with Jack Leiter on the bump. Another brilliant start from Tyler Mahle. Didn't really improve the ERA. I think he was at 1.47, and I think he's still there right now. He was at 1.47 coming into it, and he's still at 1.47 after allowing only 1 earned run through 6 innings. A quality start for Tyler. 3 Ks. 7 base runners in 6 innings, a little uncharacteristic. This is what happens when you've got a guy that's been this brilliant to start. You get a little nitpicky. Mahle, usually under a 1 whip in all of his starts, but had a little more traffic today than usual. It's all good, man. Quality start. Mahle still looking really, really solid. Rangers, 3-headed monster, man. DeGrom, Evo, Mahle. It's tough to deal with, and I love that we employed it. Absolutely love we employed it for this series, this Silver Boot series. By the way, looks like the Stars just tied it up. Let's go. Stars 1-1. We got to get a clinch for the Stars, and we got to get a win tonight for the Rangers. Come on now. Steele looks like puts it home. Garcia, 2-2 count right now to Myers. Myers 1 for 3 on the night, 7-hole hitter. Jake Myers hitting 295 on the year, 760 OPS. So Myers having a pretty good season, hitting down at the bottom of the order for Houston. Robert Garcia, long pause. And here's the pitch. Line drive, but Dolly is there, and we are down to our final out. Let's go. Down to our final out here. Come on now. It's huge. Like I said, I told y'all coming into this series, I would love 3 out of 4. I would have been elated with 4 out of 4. My expectation was we got to split this series. So regardless of what happens tomorrow, I feel like mission accomplished. You split the series. It's a tough opponent. It's a division rival. I'm looking at the bright side 100% of the way. Clearly, I'm rooting and hoping for a win tomorrow. But you split, you secure the split. That's huge. You're not going to win 3 games out of 4 all the time. It's just not super easy to do. It's hard to do. By the way, 1-1 count right now on Rogers, 0 for 3 on the night, and Rogers on the season hitting 211, 569 OPS. Definitely want to take care of these last 2 guys at the bottom of the order before you flip it back to Pena, Altuve, and company. 2 out of 4 is great in a 4-game set. Really is. Absolutely. All right, here we go. We got a 2-1 count coming up here. Rangers fans on their feet. Little pop-up, foul territory, burger. Got it, baby. Let's go. I like Texas. Cue the music. Rangers win it 5-1 and secure a split in their series with the arch rival Astros. Rangers have now won 7 out of 8 games. 7 of 8. That's not that bad, man. Joc Pederson got to be the hero tonight. We know that Wyatt Langford adds on late. Josh Smith contributes a sac fly late, but Joc Pederson, got to give him, along with Tyler Mahle, players of the game. Pederson with the big bomb there to get things going. Game was locked at 1-1, and Joc's 2-run bomb would have been a home run in 29 of 30 parks. I think the only park it wouldn't have gone out was Oracle, San Francisco. Joc got a hold of that thing, and he gave the Rangers the 3-1 lead that they never relinquished. And so the Rangers take this one. Beautiful, beautiful game for Texas. Love how it ended, and I love that we secure the split today. Now, tomorrow, a little bit less pressure on Jack Leiter, right? A little bit less pressure. You don't have Jack going for the split. You don't have Jack trying to salvage a game. You've got Jack in a good spot where you can kind of say to yourself, if it doesn't go great tomorrow, at least we got the split. Not an easy thing to do in a 4-game set. 3 out of 4 is tough. 4 out of 4 is extremely tough. I'll take a 2-2. I'll take a 2-2 split. I will. Absolutely. We keep going. I would definitely, Pat, if you're still hanging, man, appreciate you, brother. I would definitely love to see another solid arm for the pen. I do think they're going to add one. I really do. I would 100% be in favor of maybe you give up some prospects and you go get a big arm that can help accompany some of the guys we already have. I would love that, Pat. Series win tomorrow would be phenomenal. It would be great. I'm trying not to get greedy, but I would love that. Would absolutely love it. Johnny, what's good? From Fort Worth, I see you. Go Rangers. Absolutely. Valdez pitching for the Astros tomorrow. Valdez is definitely a solid pitcher. No shade, no disrespect. 100% Valdez is solid. On the season, I think he's having a pretty good year. Although tomorrow, at least on MLB.com, it shows Houston starter to be determined. I don't know what that means or what the reason is. I actually saw Valdez when I was previewing the series on Thursday, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I would assume Valdez tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But Valdez is a guy in the postseason, at least the Rangers had some success off of. You've got Jack Leiter pitching for Texas. We're going to preview that game here a little bit later on in the show. But right now, let's wrap up the game from today. We've already been talking about it. Josh Smith starting off 0 for 4 today, but had a nice RBI on a sac fly late in the game to give the Rangers, at the time, a 4-1 lead. Nice piece of hitting from Josh Smith. Still sporting a 295 average with a 797 OPS. Wyatt Langford, 2 for 4 tonight. That average had kind of been steadily dipping down a little bit. So it's just nice to see the young kid get a couple of knocks. One scorching one that gave the Rangers a 5-1 lead. And that was, of course, in the 7th inning. And then Wyatt, of course, 820 OPS, 248 average. Great to see him hitting the ball hard tonight. Josh Young gets moved up, and I loved to see it. Love seeing Josh Young get moved up in the order, but he goes 0 for 4 tonight, 283 average, 810 OPS. I had a strikeout in with an opportunity to move runners over at the very least. Didn't come through. Look, the series has been rough in terms of home plate umpiring tonight, especially. And I remember with Josh Young, one of his at-bats, it's the at-bat I'm talking about where he struck out with men on base. You get off to an 0-1 count. A slider gets called a strike 2 feet off the plate, and it's tough. I don't even fault Josh Young. You go down 0-1, it's just so much different than being up 1-0. It just is. All y'all that played the game, you know what I'm talking about. You're 1-0. That's night and day from being down 0-1. I mean, 0-1 isn't a death sentence. I'm not letting Josh Young off the hook completely, but when you're a hitter that prides yourself on having a good eye up at the dish and really working counts and waiting on your pitch, and then you get a strike call on a pitch 2 feet off the plate, it messes with you. I don't even hold that AB against Josh Young, but he's seen better days up at the plate. Moving up to the 3-hole, I definitely love the move. Hopefully they can stick with it a little bit. I think you got to let Josh Young eat a little bit from that spot before you make any changes. Let's keep going down the line. Adolis Garcia, 0 for 3. Did have a walk, got on base once. Marcus Semien, 1 for 3 with a walk as well. His last 2 at-bats, definitely his best of the night. We already talked about Marcus Semien a little bit. And Marcus Semien, a guy that I think a lot of us Rangers fans enjoy cheering for, but's having a tough time right now. It was good to see him connect on a solid line drive. Good to see him draw a walk. But right now, Marcus Semien does not need to be hitting 5th in the lineup. I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment here. Dad, appreciate the gift, by the way. Thank you so much, brother. Means a lot to me. That's huge. I don't take any of these gifts that y'all give. We had a couple people subscribe over the last couple of days. I don't take any of that for granted. Thank you so much. Marcus Semien does not need to be hitting 5th. I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment. He got on base twice. 5th is right where he belongs. I would say Marcus needs to be hitting at worst, probably, I would say 8th, at best 7th. I would not be hitting him 6th. I wouldn't be hitting him 5th. I think you got to have Marcus somewhere between 7 and 9. And I think that whatever the reason you want to throw out there is for his struggles, I personally believe it has a lot to do with bat speed, getting a little bit older. There's been some regression going back to last year with Marcus Semien. I'm not saying that he can't have great games. I'm not saying that he can't figure it out a little bit. I just don't know if Marcus is ever going to get back to what he was doing with Toronto when he hit 40 homers, even to what he was doing in 2023 when he finished top 3 MVP. It's not to say that Marcus has to stay down there forever. You move him down to 7th in the order. You move him down to 8th in the order. Whatever. If he starts getting hot and somebody above him is sucking, you move him back up. It's not a big deal. That's what I've said all along going back to 2024, right? It's not a big deal to move guys down when they're struggling. You can always move them back up later. The only reason it feels like Marcus is hitting 5th, is hitting 6th of late is hard feelings. And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful when I say that, but there's no evidence consistently, right, over a large body of work for Marcus Semien that points to kind of like Joc Pederson, oh, he's just getting unlucky, right? That, I think, was kind of Joc Pederson, what you could say about him for the past 2 or 3 weeks. The dude had exit velocities of 105 plus almost every other at bat, it felt like at times over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and was just getting unlucky. I don't think you can say that about Marcus Semien. Dude's just getting unlucky. It's a lot of soft contact. It's a lot of trying to pull outside pitches. I've talked about this with Marcus Semien. The inability to consistently serve the outside pitch to right field, right? You get an outside pitch, you get a curveball, a slider, trying to hit the outside of the plate. You got to take it and send it to right field. Marcus, a pull hitter, you're seeing him try to pull a lot of these pitches and off-speed pitches at that on the outer half. And what it leads to is ground balls and soft pop-ups. And so I think a combination of pitch selection for Marcus, bat speed lessening a little bit, slowing down, is contributing to where he's at right now. And I just don't think he needs to be heart of the order. It doesn't make any sense to me. The only thing that's keeping him there is, I think, a little pride, a little bit of hard feelings, not wanting to embarrass him, putting him all the way down there at the bottom of the order. But it needs to happen because at some point you're kind of questioning the coaches. Guys, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? And I think that question has been asked by Rangers media, but you don't get a good answer. I mean, Bochy is the master at the coach speak, telling you nothing and, just twisting it into a positive, which that's his job, right? Bochy doesn't have to give us anything crazy, but the question I feel like has been asked, and I don't think there's any other conclusion you can draw. Why is Marcus Semien still hitting 5th in the order? They don't want to hurt his feelings. It's a pride thing. And look, I do believe if you move Marcus down, he probably would be on board with it. He doesn't strike me as a diva. Like that was one thing that I saw kind of going around in some different forums and different chats that I'm in. Not the Discord that I'm a part of, that our private Discord for Ride on Rangers, but I'm on a few of them in X and formerly Twitter and stuff like that. And you just see people kind of trying to make Marcus into a bit of a diva. I don't think he is. I think if you moved him down, I don't think he'd be happy about it as a competitor, but I don't think he'd be causing you trouble. Like I really don't. So I hope that the move gets made. You can always move him back up in the order, but right now there's no reason he needs to continue to be hitting 5th. ESPN is showing undecided pitcher 2, Pat. Thank you, sir. Philip, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Go Rangers if you're still joining us. If they could send Semien to AAA, they probably already would have, but in order to send Semien to AAA, he's got to accept that assignment. And I'm pretty sure, I would think that somebody is probably going to be interested in taking Marcus Semien. I don't know if they're going to want to take his salary, but I think at some point Marcus would probably go ahead and elect free agency, and then you're paying him, and then he's going to play for league minimum somewhere else, right? Isn't that how it works? Like if you drop Marcus Semien, he's not going to accept the assignment to AAA. He's going to take your money, and then he's going to go sign league minimum. That's what I don't like, and that's why you really can't get rid of him. You're going to then have to watch him play for somebody else for $700,000 while you're paying him $25 million a year or whatever he's making. It's not really something I want to see happen. I definitely do think, JK, your point is valid. You could 100% bench him for a couple of games. Granted, he had a nice game tonight, so I don't think they're going to do that. Yeah, Dad, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're doing that with Scherzer, right? We're paying Scherzer still right now this season. You don't want to get into a scenario where you DFA Marcus Semien. He's not going to go to AAA. He's going to reject the assignment and elect free agency. You're still on the hook to pay him. He's not getting, he's not going to lose that contract. He's just going to get to go sign for league minimum with another team. And that's just stupid. That's just bad business, guys. I know that the emotional thing to do is we want to see him DFA'd, benched, sent to AAA. And look, some of it, I know, y'all, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but you don't want to watch Marcus Semien have some kind of resurrection in 2025 while you're paying him $25 million a year to do it for somebody else. We're talking about Marcus Semien right now. Hunter, I saw that 1-1 stars. That's what's up. Absolutely. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. I'm going to try and get to as many comments as I can. Zach, what's good? Split secured. Reese, I'm with you. Joc is absolutely looking more confident. Joc has been hitting the ball hard over the past couple of weeks, getting a little bit unlucky. I think that Joc Pederson is coming around. I was a little surprised that they moved him down in the order, and you go ahead and you leave Marcus Semien and Adolis Garcia right where they're at. Was anybody else confused by that? Like, Joc's actually been hitting the ball hard. Leave him at third. Leave him ahead of Adolis Garcia and Marcus Semien. I did not really get moving Joc all the way down to 6. It worked for today, but I just didn't really understand that move. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. So I hope that they fix that moving forward. There's no reason why Joc Pederson needs to be hitting behind Marcus Semien. What are we doing? I don't get that move at all. Look, I don't think this is a terrible idea. The comment on YouTube is move Semien 7 to 9 and maybe start benching him a little bit more frequently. Like maybe Marcus only plays 5 games a week, right? Something like that. Like more consistent days off for him. It's funny. They said they were going to do that, right? Don't y'all remember? They kind of hyped up. I know hype is a strong word, but they kind of hyped up like we're going to give Marcus more off days this year. Dude barely has had any. He's had like 1 or 2 off days. What are we talking about? Like, dude's still playing every day. So I thought that was a little funny. They kind of hyped up Semien not doing the 160, 161 thing and actually taking some days off. British and USA agree with you. I'm feeling pretty good about the Cowboys this year. I mean, I'm not saying Super Bowl. Don't get it twisted, but I'm feeling better. I like the Pickens trade. I like some of the pieces they've got. We'll see what happens. Hunter, we definitely need to do something at the trade deadline. 100%. I saw that we finally signed our phenom from Korea, Kim. Excellent. Love it. Hopefully he is the Korean Ohtani, man. Hopefully he is. That would be great. That'd be phenomenal. Yeah, I'm with you. Dak's health is going to be huge. We'll be talking a lot more football as it gets warmed up. During this time of the year, I'm really locked in on baseball, so I know some of y'all are with me from the Cowboys season, and we're going to talk Cowboys eventually as it gets closer. OTAs, preseason, all that good stuff. And, of course, when the season begins, we start talking football. But it's baseball for right now. We're locked in on it. Yankees, that makes sense. That makes sense. Those are probably those 2 teams, Yankees, Cowboys. I bet there's a lot of people that are Yankees fans and Cowboys fans. Is Kim going straight to the Arizona League? I don't know where they're going to play him. I mean, I have not heard much about Kim and how major league ready he is, or like what they feel like he projects, like in terms of what year he's going to be up contributing at the big league level. I'm curious too. He's 18 years old. You got to think that he probably needs 2 or 3 years. I don't know. Philip, not shocked by Corey Seager on the IL. I'm just not shocked by it at all. I think that it makes a lot of sense. It's definitely something that has clearly been nagging him, the hamstring injury. I think they rushed him back. I just wasn't surprised when Corey kind of gimped up a little bit after one of those swings. And I just really hope that this IL stint, he gets it right. Don't rush him back. As much as it sucks to not have Corey in the lineup, just don't rush him back. I'm already mentally prepared, though, to not have Corey Seager for probably anything more than 125 games, and I would highly suggest you guys do the same. That's not shade at Corey. I absolutely love Corey Seager, my favorite current Texas Rangers player. But I'll say this. I, starting in 2024, said to myself, this guy, he's not ever going to play 150 for you. He's just not. And some guys are like that. I would love to be wrong, and I would love for him to be able to play 150 plus. You know, if you play 150 plus, you're basically taking 2 days off a month. I would love if Corey Seager could do that. Right now, Corey is kind of at that point where you're taking, like 6-7 days off a month. That's just kind of Corey Seager at this point in his career. I hope that he finds a good track record of health eventually, but he ain't getting any younger. So not surprised by Corey Seager to the IL, but they've got to get him right now. Don't bring him back too early. Let him stay on the IL as long as he needs so that he can come back 100% and the Rangers can have him for a solid stretch run in June, in July. Like that's what you need for Corey Seager right now. Keep going. Stars are number one in my book in May and June. Can't blame you there. Playoff hockey is amazing. Hey, Brad, what's good? Thanks for hanging out, man. Glad you could make it. Hello, win column. Big win today. They do. They always will bench Seager before an off day. That feels like the formula for the past 2-3 years. So Corey Seager hopefully comes back maybe in a week. I don't know if he's going to only do the minimum amount of days or not, but I'm hoping maybe he's back in a week. Maybe he's back for this coming weekend series, or he's back for the series that begins in about 8-9 days, like the start of the following week. Anyways, appreciate the follows. Thank you so much, y'all. Means a lot. Starting matchup tomorrow. Philip, you got it? Is it still Valdez, or did they switch it up? Valdez versus Leiter. Okay, so they finally decided to go with Valdez. Martin, I think, is all the way good to go. I mean, you saw him throw tonight. He said he hasn't had any issues. He felt some of the pops when he was throwing a few games ago, threw on the field and worked it out a little bit. And it appears like he's all the way good to go. I'm sure they'll continue to monitor and be a little careful with it. But I think Martin, fingers crossed, avoided any kind of major crazy injury. I really do. Hey, Just Drive. What's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Y'all are great. Look, what a win. You get 2 out of 4 in a 4-game set against an arch rival. You'd love 3 out of 4. You'll absolutely take this. Like you just will. You will take this all day long. So I'm happy. I would love to see Jack Leiter pitch his butt off tomorrow and get us a series win. I'm not going to be too greedy, but I sure would love to see it. Hey, Logan, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. We're going to go through the Valdez numbers here in just a sec. We'll go through the matchups for tomorrow. Leiter versus Houston, Valdez versus Texas. It's going to be great. Let's check it out. Let's get into it. We kind of wrapped up everything for today, I think. We kind of stopped at Marcus Semien and Joc Pederson. Jake Berger, 1 for 4. He had a nice double in the gap. Higgy was 0 for 3 with a walk. Haggerty, a late addition with Evan Carter, quad soreness or quad tightness, I think is what they're calling it for Evan Carter. Not what you wanted to see, but you just hope it's precautionary. But Evan Carter, a late scratch today, quad tightness. I do genuinely hope that it is nothing more than just dude needed a little maintenance day. Maybe if we don't see him tomorrow, kind of makes sense, right? Because it's a lefty. So you won't see Evan Carter tomorrow. Hopefully you maybe see him back on Tuesday. because Rangers have Monday off. So Evan Carter is going to get a nice few days off here. Kind of makes sense. You would have sat him anyways tomorrow. You have the off day on Monday. So hopefully on Tuesday, we see Evan Carter back in the lineup. That would be ideal. Appreciate it. Beyond that, the box score pitching side of things, Mahle, 7 base runners total, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 3 Ks, ERA down to 147, got up to 96 pitches. Feels like that has to be one of the higher numbers in his starts this year. I don't know if that's a season high or not, but awful close to 100. Mahle getting stretched out a little bit. Would have loved for him to have gone one more, but had some high innings, had some high pitch count innings early on, prevented him from being out there for the 7th. But quality start. You love what you're seeing from him. Jacob Webb came in, and I told y'all, I tweeted it out right away. Get your barf bag ready, man. But he came out and he threw like immediately first and then second outs of the inning. Then it started going a little haywire with the 2 walks for Jacob Webb in the 7th. He struck out Altuve to end the threat. What a huge relief. The game could have gone a little sideways at that point, but Jacob Webb gets out of it, gets everybody's heart rate up a little bit. But you know what? Look, we got through it, and we made it to Martin. He bridged that 7th inning to the 8th. Martin came in. No base runners allowed. Same thing with Garcia. Between both of them, nobody reached base. Neither recorded a strikeout, which is kind of odd and unusual for Martin and for Garcia, kind of strikeout guys. But no strikeouts for either Chris Martin or Robert Garcia. But you know what? The biggest number is the 0 in the hits department and the walks department, and of course the runs department. Martin and Garcia, that tandem, very, very solid, trying to lock down a ball game, and they did it well today. That's the box score. Here's the bad news, right? Here's the bad news for the lineup today. You went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. I'm not going to dwell on it because a win is a win, and it's awesome. But the Rangers, the runners in scoring position thing, man, it's just not getting a lot better. And you'll take the win today a million times over, but it's painful seeing that number. 8 left on base, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You would just love to see the Rangers be a little bit better at the clutch hitting. You really would. Because at some point, you feel like it's going to come back to bite them a little bit in a big spot where the pitching maybe isn't as sharp. Pat, I'm with you. Fingers crossed, Leiter keeps bumping up the whiff numbers. Start talking about sharp pitching, man. I just hope Leiter is sharp tomorrow. It's a tough Houston lineup. No, Alvarez makes it a little bit easier to handle, but I sure hope he comes out and has a sharp first and second inning. It goes a long way. Do I think Foscue is good enough to replace Semien for a few games? No. I don't think we're going to upgrade that much by going to Foscue. I really don't, y'all. So for me, you don't really have a lot of awesome options. The only real option here is you bench Marcus Semien and you play Josh Smith at second base. I mean, that's pretty much what you're going to do over anything else. That would actually give Josh a consistent place in the lineup. Otherwise, you're kind of doing the revolving door thing where he DHs and maybe plays a little outfield, plays shortstop, plays a little third here and there, whenever guys need a day, basically, right? But I don't think the Rangers would do any kind of weird swap. You're just going to have Josh Smith play second base if you're going away from Marcus Semien. I do feel like the Rangers have had good success off of Valdez. Ben, appreciate the comment. Thank you for following along today, man. But let's talk about the cold, hard numbers here, Rangers against Valdez, and let's see what we're working with. So we've got Valdez announced as the starter. It was TBD even 20 minutes ago. Leiter, by the way, no numbers against any Houston player. So this is going to be a short preview, but we do have numbers against Valdez on the Rangers side. Barnhart 0 for 3. Berger 1 for 11. Not a great start. Zeke Duran probably also not playing, but it looks like he is 3 for 20 with a home run. Adolis Garcia has a home run against Valdez, but hitting 188 overall in 32 at-bats. Haggerty, 2 for 10. Jonah Heim looks like 2 for 17, 176 average. Josh Young, 2 for 8. Wyatt Langford, 0 for 3. Marcus Semien, 258 average and 31 ABs with 2 bombs. Josh Smith, 0 for 5. Look, maybe it's a case of it feels like we dominate him, but those stats don't look very good. Those stats do not impress me much. So I hope that the gut feeling we have about the Rangers doing well against Valdez actually comes to fruition, because those numbers don't look pretty. You've got a couple of guys with home runs off of him, but a lot of low averages. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Feels like it's going to be one of those games where you're kind of going to know early whether Leiter has it or not. And if Leiter gets off to a rough start, this team not the best at climbing out of holes, I think that there's going to be a lot understood after the first couple innings in tomorrow's game. And by the way, tomorrow start time, it's going to be a 10:05 start for me out here in Vegas, and then 12:05 start for all y'all that are hanging out in the Central Time Zone in Texas specifically. Bochy needs to consider having Garcia as the closer moving forward. Jackson is a little shaky. I do think that Garcia in the closing role would work. I'd be totally good with it. In fact, I'd probably like to see it even over Chris Martin. Yeah, I do think Zeke Duran has got to be a trade bait piece at this point. There's way too many guys that are going to get playing time over him consistently. I would love to see him get an opportunity to go flourish somewhere else, because it's a logjam in the infield spots right now. You're just not going to have consistent playing time for Zeke Duran unless you've just got a ton of people going out with injury. Where will John Gray and Bradford be when they come back? I think that one of them, I think John Gray is probably going to take a starting role. Unless Leiter is just killing it, I think John Gray probably assumes his starting role back in the rotation. Leiter would have to be like on an epic heater, I think, to not lose his spot to John Gray. I just think you're paying John Gray too much money to just make him a bullpen piece. I know that sounds good, and honestly, I might also consider it. I just feel like they're probably paying John Gray a little too much, and that standpoint, that money side of things does play into it, y'all. It just does. They don't magically forget about money and just judge everything off of baseball feel. It's a business, and I just feel like they're not going to put John Gray out in the bullpen and pay him $13 million to be a bullpen piece. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I think he is going to be a trade candidate. Philip, I know you're saying that. We've said it here on the show a lot. John Gray making $13 million. I think he's a prime trade candidate. Even if you are a buyer at the deadline, I think that you could either flip John Gray in the same trade for a hitter or a closer, or in a separate trade, you flip John Gray for prospects. Maybe you use some of those prospects in a trade to go get a closer. That would probably be what I do. You don't trade John Gray to any AL team. You trade him to an NL team where you're not going to see him until the World Series at worst. Don't trade him to the Dodgers. Trade him to some team that probably doesn't have as good of a chance. That's what I'd be doing. But definitely don't trade him in the AL. Trade him to an NL team if you can. That's 100%, I think, the move. Pat, they kind of came out because six-man rotation has been brought up a lot, and I've actually brought it up too. But they kind of came out, I think, at the beginning of the year and said they don't want to do a six-man rotation. I really don't see them going to a six-man. I think it would be actually a little bit wise, but there's a few negatives about six-man that we don't think about. So when you go six-man, you have got to be almost 100% sure that whoever you're throwing out there in the sixth man role, if you will, is going to have a great sixth-day start for you and not be a total albatross for the rotation. Because if your sixth man in the rotation is going 4 or 5 innings, you're just taxing the bullpen because it's one less bullpen arm. You go six-man rotation, now you've got one less guy in the pen. It's just not as easy as everybody makes it out to be. I can see arguments for both. But if you have a 6-man rotation, I'm serious, y'all. Every single pitcher in the 6-man rotation has to be pretty good every single start for it to work well. Otherwise, you just end up getting a really taxed bullpen, and that can go really, really poorly, really quickly if you have Jack Leiter only go 2 or 3 innings. If Patrick Corbin or John Gray only go 3 or 4 innings one day. Now you've got a situation where the bullpen is getting more taxed because you've got less arms out in the pen because you took one of the arms from the pen and you put him in the rotation. Yeah, I don't think CY, Brad, appreciate that comment. I don't think CY is a fan of it. And I can see why. See what I did there? But I can see why he doesn't like it. I think that you've really got to see what you've got in terms of your 6 starters and whether or not they're likely to totally biff it one start and put a lot of pressure on the pen. We keep going. I do think Leiter's going back down to AAA. I think he's definitely going back down to AAA. I don't see any scenario where Rocker, excuse me, not Leiter. Rocker, I don't see any scenario where Rocker stays up. I think that Leiter's got a shot. I don't think that Rocker is going to be staying up with the big league club when he comes back from the IL. I think they send him down to AAA, get him consistent starts down there. I don't think that Rocker, it was a small sample size, but I don't think that Rocker and what he accomplished when he was with the big league club warrants him taking away a rotation spot from somebody else. I don't think he's on the 60, Zach. I think he's on the 10, but I don't know when he's expected back. If any of y'all know, let me know, but I don't think he's expected back. Like tomorrow. I think it's still like a little ways away, but I think they're going to send him to AAA. It does feel like he's been out a while, totally. Any bats that CY could bring in? I've thrown around a few, but it's just hard at this point, Ben, because you don't know who the contenders are going to be at the trade deadline. You don't know who's going to be relevant and who's going to be selling. It's just tough. So like when I did trade options a couple weeks ago, we were talking about St. Louis. Then St. Louis went on like a 9-game win streak. And now you're wondering, St. Louis probably going to keep everybody, right? Assuming they continue on the positive trend that they're at, St. Louis is 26-20. You know, they're 26-20 and have won 3 in a row, 9 of their last 10. They don't look like sellers right now. So all of y'all that are talking Ryan Helsley and me talking Arenado and Brendan Donovan, like those guys aren't going to be available if the Cardinals keep doing this. I do think you got to watch the Braves. The Braves are 1 game above 500 right now. You would think that they could maybe sneak in a wild card spot, but I don't know. The NL West is so good. You got the Giants, you got the Padres. It's going to be tight for the NL wild card. So I think the Braves are definitely a team that you look at. Shoot, the Cardinals, I think they're in a wild card spot right now. Actually, the Cardinals are a half game back for a wild card spot. Isn't that crazy? So maybe the Cardinals will end up being sellers, even if they have a positive record. It's going to be close. But look, I've thrown out a few names. Arenado, Brendan Donovan, Marcell Ozuna, Bo Bichette. Not all these guys are like perfect fits, but I do think at some point you've just got to go get a bat. Like just go get a bat, man. Figure out the fit later and just get another bat in this lineup. I did hear Philip Mullins from the Orioles. Let me look at Mullins' numbers right now, because that's the thing, y'all. We don't need a potential guy that's having a bad season on the club. We've already got enough potential guys that aren't doing well. Mullins is hitting 220 with 8 bombs. What's the OPS, though? Let me dig a little deeper here. Average doesn't always tell the whole story. OPS is average, 750. I would not say I'm a huge fan of Cedric Mullins at this point, going out and getting him. He's 30 years old. He's hitting 220. OBP is at 324. I don't know how excited I feel about Cedric Mullins. He'd have to probably go on a little bit of a heater here. Jordan Beck from Colorado. Feels like you probably have to give up a little bit more to get a young guy like that. But let me see what Jordan Beck is doing right now for his stats. Beck is hitting 250 with an 848 OPS. That's a guy I'm a lot more interested in. The only thing is he was drafted, 3 years ago? He's a young guy. You probably have to give up a little bit more to get him, and I don't even know if he's for sale. I don't know what the Rockies are doing. But Jordan Beck, good spot there. Good find there, Pat. I think I like what I'm seeing from him. 7 bombs this year. Again, an 848 OPS. I think you'll take that. That could be a guy to watch out for. Outfielder, though, so, we've got a little bit of a log jam out there. What do you do with the Adolis Garcia if you go get Jordan Beck? Because you're probably not benching Langford. You're definitely, I don't think, benching Evan Carter against righties. I think you're probably going to have both those guys out there. So what do you do if you go get Jordan Beck? DH? I think it gets a little bit dicey, but good find. I like Beck. I think he's having a pretty good season. I noticed him when we played him with the Rockies, but I didn't realize he was actually having a good year. Beck homered tonight too? I don't know what the Rockies are doing, though. Like, clearly they're going to be selling if they've got anybody that teams are interested in, but there might be a young core of guys that they want to actually keep around. Athletic stinks. I don't think there's no chance. I don't think there's no chance that we get a big bat, but I would say I think it's somewhere around probably 50-50. It kind of depends on the offense, honestly, and how they pick it up. Philip, we've got Seattle and San Diego tied. Nice. Let's see what the scoreboard is showing right now around the league. LA beating the Dodgers 4-3 right now in the third. 0-0 A's and Giants, and then 1-1 in the sixth. Padres, Mariners. Standings. Let's check it out in the AL West as we work to wrap up the show here. We've got a one game deficit on the Mariners. 25-22. Mariners lose, and the Rangers would gain a half game here. Astros now 2 games back, and the A's 3 games back. So we'll see what happens. 6 games back for the Angels. Sure would be nice to win tomorrow, put another game between us and the Stros, maybe then tie the Mariners for the division lead. Speaking it into existence. Speaking it into existence, y'all. We're trying. Right now, I don't think a lot of trades are going to happen, though. You're just not going to see a lot of trades right now. It's not going to happen until June, July. I think that we can wonder, we can dream, but trades are not going to be happening until we get a little bit deeper into the summer. That's just how it's going to go, y'all. So we'll see what they decide to do. We'll see how things work out with different teams and their win-loss record, where they're at in the standings. That's going to determine a lot. I'd love to see the Rangers get a bat. I'd love to see them get a closer. I think if you can get those 2 things, you're almost all the way set. Personally, I love some of the players on this team. I don't know if I trust everybody to just consistently contribute. I think that you have got to go get some insurance at the trade deadline, a guy that's hitting well and can come and inject a little bit of life, just give you a little bit more depth and security offensively. Because if the Rangers lay an egg in October on the offensive side, all you're going to be hearing is, why didn't we go get a bat? We really thought that these guys were going to carry it through October. If they do, you look super smart, right? But that is going to be the number one thing people point to if we flame out in October because the offense got shut down in the divisional round. Everybody's going to say, why didn't we go get a bat? We really thought this lineup was going to play in October. 100% that's going to be what everybody says. So I think what you've got to do is you got to go get an insurance guy, a guy that's hot, that's doing well, that can come in, give you a little bit of life in the middle spots in the order, and then you go get an arm that can provide a little bit of depth. Be maybe a holds guy or a saves guy. I think it can be either one. I don't think you have to go get like a bona fide closer, but you definitely need to get a high leverage guy at minimum. I would like to see them get a closer, but at least get a guy that's been high leverage so you can kind of do some more mixing and matching with Martin and Garcia and whoever they add. It does feel like they're going to continue to go with Luke Jackson late, though. I don't know if I love it or if I get it, but it looks like that is what their plan is at this point in time. Appreciate it. Jonathan Aranda, man. What is the – let me see what his numbers are. Aranda, definitely a guy that you love to have hitting 320 with 6 bombs and 21 RBI. I think Aranda is maybe going to be a guy that gets listened to if you're the Rays, but I don't know. You may want to keep him if you're planning on reloading. It just depends on what the strategy is there down in Tampa. But Jonathan Aranda, 320, 6 bombs, 21 RBI. Hello. Albert, appreciate the gift, man. By the way, thank you so much. All those things, just little gifts here and there. Appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I don't take them for granted. So thank you. Thank you for supporting the show. A bunch of y'all have been awesome doing that, and it means a lot. I don't take it for granted. You know, we built something really pretty special here. The lives and the reels, the post-games reactions. It's turned into more than just content for me, guys, honestly. It's like a real community, right? And I'm trying to take it a step further. I've been trying to stay really consistent with the lives and the videos. And, you know, if you've been checking in after every game, dropping comments, sharing reels, you know, just feeling like this channel gets you, I have a way that I've tried to throw out there to take it a step further. You know, it's really just me doing this, right? Editing things, going live, doing the videos, all this good stuff. And so what I decided to do for a really low price, $2.99 a month, a subscription on TikTok or on YouTube, here's what it gets you. Exclusive access to my Right on Rangers Discord. We chat live during games, and we keep the energy going before and after the live. I've really enjoyed it over the past week with some of the people that are on the show right now that have already subscribed. Albert, Brad, Just Drive, if you're still hanging out. A bunch of y'all have already subscribed, and I really, really appreciate it. It's a great time. Brad, thank you. I appreciate that support. So look, I want to be clear. That $2.99 just goes to supporting me and the content I produce. I know $2.99 is $2.99, but I appreciate you considering it. And let me be clear, the core of the channel isn't going anywhere. We're not selling out here. It's totally an optional thing. A ton of what I'm doing is still going to be free of charge. 1,000,000%. A bunch of what I do is always going to stay free for everybody. The lives, it's going to stay free. The reels are staying free. We're just doing a couple of little extras, a couple perks. Harris, man, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the subscription. That means a ton. I can't tell you how much that means to me, brother. Thank you so much. And now we got that 5 for 5 subscription goal. What's good? Hey, I love it. Wonder what the next one is. But we got our first 5 subscribers, y'all. That means a ton to me. Like I said, a bunch of what I'm doing is always going to stay free. I'm going to take comments. We're going to do lives. We're going to put out videos. We're going to do play-by-play commentary. It's going to be awesome. But if you're looking for a way to give back, you love what we're doing here at Right on Rangers, we're trying to do our best to make this more than just a reaction page. Like, my goal is that this is going to be, and hopefully it already is in some small ways, but I want this channel to be a real voice in Rangers baseball one day. Sky's the limit, and your support helps me get there step by step. We literally started with 0 subscribers, 0 followers. And across all channels, we're getting pretty close to 15,000 followers. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all those. So I couldn't be more blessed and grateful. And thank you so much for any support that you give. The likes, the shares, the views, the watch time, the comments, everything is appreciated. And I just want to tell you how thankful I am for all y'all. So thanks so much. Hit that subscribe button right down there by that chat if you want to help out. If it's not for you, there's no hard feelings at all. I just appreciate that you're here. All right. My plug's over. Let's get back to baseball. Love y'all. Let me check comments one last time before we head out for the night. Appreciate it. Thank you for everybody that's followed. Skeeta Tiger, appreciate you, man. Thank you for following the show. Trey, thank you for the follow. Brandon, same for you. Thank you for the follow if you're still hanging out. Harris, again, thank you for the subscription, brother. That means a lot to me. I will be adding you to our Discord. I don't know if you can send me a DM. Just send me a DM after the show, Harris, if you're still hanging out, and I will immediately send you the Discord info to get you into our game day chat. All right, bud? Don't forget, send me that DM so I can get you the info. Love it, buddy. Thank you. All right, I think we're caught up. I think we are caught up. So tomorrow, probably going to be going live right after the game is done. Hopefully, it's after another Texas Rangers win. Diego, and you are going ham right now, dude. Thank you. Appreciate the good games. Appreciate the GGs. You're doing the most, dude. Love it. Thank you. I am floored right now. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you. Means a lot to me. All right, guys. Look, it's always a good day when the Rangers win. It's an outstanding day when the Rangers win and the Astros lose. It's an incredible day if we can get the Stars clinching, the Rangers winning, and the Astros losing. I would absolutely love it. Man, we're 1-1 right now. Cam, appreciate the subscription, brother. Thank you so much. Dude, that means a ton. You guys are awesome. 2 subscriptions today. I'm floored. I don't take any of this for granted. Whether you gave a gift today, whether you just liked the freaking live today. I love y'all. Thank you. It really does mean so much. Thank you. Thank you. Always a good day when the Astros lose. I couldn't agree more with you, Harris. Always a good day when they lose, man. And can we get the Stars advance into the Western Conference Finals? I would love to see it. Stars Oilers is going to be epic. It is going to be epic. Yeah, I agree, Diego. When we can get a Joc Pederson home run, we can get a Joc bomb, I'm there for it too. Absolutely. Yeah, Cam, welcome, man. This is what we do after every game, unless I am traveling for work. And like I told y'all, even when I travel for work, you might see me posting up in a hotel room. We might just talk it up, shoot the breeze straight from my hotel room at the desk there. I don't know. But unless I got something going on with family or traveling for work, I'm usually always live after every game. I love talking it up with y'all. It's great. And I can't say thank you enough for all the support. Philip, thank you, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Like I said, every little bit, every little like, share, view, follow, subscription, it all helps. And I can't say thank you enough. All right, y'all, let's wrap it up. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Thank a military member. Military Appreciation Month. My brother serving in Alaska right now in the Army. Military Appreciation Month. You see a vet, you know somebody that has served or is serving. Say thank you to them. I think we'll go a little bit of military support tomorrow. Join me if you want. I'll have my my military shirt, Texas Rangers military support, and I'll have the hat tomorrow. Hey, join me just for fun. Why not, right? But go say thank you to somebody that you know serves. We are fortunate to have people that are willing to give up their lives for us here in the great old US of A, my brother included. So thank you for supporting military. It's an awesome month. I love it. And look, I love y'all. Have a great rest of your Saturday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully talking about another Rangers victory and series win. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers. Thank you so much, by the way, for the super sticker, for the super chat, man. I cannot say thank you enough. You are the best. Thank you. Thank you. That means so much to me. You guys are so generous, and I couldn't be more grateful. Love y'all. Bye now.